Hello, today we will be going over factors. It is important to have a good understanding of multiplication and division before we start, as they're important tools for factoring. By definition, factors are numbers which, when multiplied together, give a whole number. For example, how can we use multiplication to get 10? We have 2 times 5 equals 10. Therefore, 2 and 5 are the numbers that are multiplied together to get another whole number, 10. Therefore, 2 and 5 are factors of 10. Factors can also be found by division. This is because multiplication and division are inverse functions. When the division results in a whole number where there is no remainder, the divisor and the quotient are factors. Here on the left, we use division. We have 10 divided by 2 equals 5. 2 is the divisor and 5 is the quotient, if you remember from the division slide decks. Because they result in no remainder, 2 and 5 are factors of 10. Here we can check our answers with multiplication that we learned in the last slide. 2 times 5 equals 10. 10 is a whole number, so therefore 2 and 5 are factors of 10. An important concept to note is that 1 and the number that you are investigating will always be factors of that given number. For example, if you're investigating the number 10, 1 and 10 will always be the factors of 10. Here, this can be proven with multiplication. We have 1 times 10 equals 10, and 10 times 1 equals 10. We can use a factor tree to visualize the process of factoring and find factor pairs. You can sort of see how you can imagine that these little lines here are like branches coming out and spreading out, kind of like how a tree spreads out its branches. In a factor tree, when we go down, we start at the top and we go down, we will divide. Here, in a factor tree, we will avoid dividing by 1 and dividing by the number you are investigating by itself. So here, let's say we have 4. 20 divided by 4 is 5. And it goes the same way around. You can do 20 divided by 5, and it'll give you 4. You can see that these two numbers are a factor pair of 20 because there are two numbers that multiply together that get 20. If you can see here, 5 can no longer be factored. It can only be either 1 or 5 to get a whole number. So, like we mentioned earlier, we will avoid dividing by 1 and the number itself. Here, 4 can be factored by 2. Therefore, 2 and 2 is a factor pair of 4. Here, 2 can no longer be factored because the only factors left are 1 and 2. You cannot divide by any other number and get a whole number. Here is a good way to remember how to find numbers on the factor tree. If you are starting at the bottom and moving up the tree, you have to multiply. We have 2 times 2 equals 4, going up. And then if we want to go further up, we have 4 times 5 equals 20. If we're starting at the top and we're going to find missing numbers on the bottom, we'll divide. So we have 20 divided by 4 equals 5. You can see that you can break it down 4 furthermore. 4 divided by 2 is 2. A factor tree can help find factors of a given number. All of the numbers that branch off of a given number are considered factors of that number. When you list out the factors of a number, it is usually in numerical order. Also, when listing out factors, we do not repeat the same numbers. In our example, we see 2 twice. but when we list them, we do only list them once. Remember, 1 and the number itself are always factors of that number. But wait, this list is incomplete, and let's see why in the next slide. Like we said, factors of a number must be in pairs, and that product of the pair should equal 20. We have 1 times 20 is 20, and we have 4 times 5 is 20. But we are missing a pair for 2. 2 times what equals 20? Here we can use division to find that number. 20 divided by 2 equals 10. Therefore, the missing number in our factor list is 10. We can see that 2 and 10 are a factor pair because 2 times 10 equals 20. Here's a special case for factor pairs. Remember that they have to be pairs, so 1 times 16 is 16. 2 and 8 multiplied together make 16. Here we have 4 by itself. Does not look like there are any other numbers to compare with, but we can still find out what that number is by division. 16 divided by 4 is 4. So the factor pair of 4 is 4. But remember, when listing out the numbers listing the factors of a number, we do not repeat the numbers. That is why there is no pair shown in the list. Now let's move on to an example problem. This problem appeared on the NGSA exam 2020 math practice tests. So this is good practice if you're looking to take the exam. Here it asks, what are the missing numbers in the factor tree below? See if you can try it out yourself, and then we'll go over the solution together. This is a factor tree. Remember on the slide that when we talked about going up the factor tree, we multiply, and when going down, we divide. So here we look at the left with the 9 and 3 in the missing number. We want to go down from the 9, so therefore we use division. 9 divided by 3 is 3. Therefore, the missing number in the circle is 3. Now we're going up the tree. We have 9 and 4 from below, so we multiply. 9 times 4 is 36. The missing number in the square is 36. Thank you. If you have any questions, please contact us at the information provided on the slide. Thank you.